Wealth Summit. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm psyched to be here.
How are you doing? How do you love Lisbon?
I love Lisbon. So I moved from Silicon Valley just 6 months ago, and I love it here. I wish I had done it years ago.
I live here for almost 5 years, and this is my favorite city in the world.
You're smarter than I am.
It's amazing. Well, you're smart enough to move now.
That's right.
We are happy to have people from all over the world, all over the world, moving here, especially from Web3 industry.
Yeah.
Because it's booming now.
It is booming.
And tell us what you do. What's your project?
So my background is both as a entrepreneur, 7 startups, and as an investor. I've invested in well over 100. And I decided to move from Silicon Valley, where I spent 35 years, to come here to advise both startups, founders, and new VCs across Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
What do you love about your job?
I love the fact that I get to learn from everyone who I coach, and then get to take some of what I learn and give it to other folks. With all that experience, 35 years, I kind of never know what's useful because I'm not being an entrepreneur anymore or being an investor anymore. And so getting to work with all these folks lets me take all that knowledge I gathered and make it useful, right? Help people avoid all the mistakes that I made.
What was the recent best solution that you, with your work, provided for some company?
What I just did. No.
Your keynote is the best.
When I figured out that I could give this one talk to lots and lots of entrepreneurs, and again, instead of, my business is working with one client at a time because there's often an awful lot that's confidential.
Yeah.
But what is amazing is when I get to go to an audience of 10 or 50 or 100 entrepreneurs and share some knowledge like this, and everyone finds something to solve the problem that they're having right now, that's very satisfying.
That's the best.
Yeah, that's the best, most recent thing.
Nice.
Right?
Like literally 5 minutes ago. Okay, how do you see the ecosystem, like Web3 ecosystem, in 5 years?
How do I see the Web3 ecosystem in 5 years? I think it's going to be a lot bigger than what we have now, right? I think hopefully more people will be using Web3 without knowing it's Web3 because customer experience, user experience will take it away from technology and move it into the world of normal humans. And what I'm excited about, because I tend to be sort of a B2B person more or less, is the uses that Web3 infrastructure will have that replacing Web 2 infrastructure, right? Because I think it'll make it more efficient. It may end up making it more secure. Hopefully we change from a world where, I don't know if you know this, only 5 companies control over 40% of all internet traffic.
Yeah.
And definitely. I don't really like that state of affairs. I want to see thousands of new entrepreneurs, create lots of jobs. So I think Web3 will help with that. This may be divisive comment for many of the folks that come to WOW Summits, but I also hope it's a very regulated
environment. That's what I wanted to ask, because you mentioned that people will use the products, but they will not know it's Web3.
Right.
But what will happen with data privacy, for example? If they don't know, if mass adoption is not progressing, what's going to happen? It's going to be a mess?
Well, if without getting into whether it's a better or worse technology, but if every Web3 wallet complies with data privacy, and the opt-in that we've seen with PSD2 or GDPR in Europe is just built into every single wallet, then I think we avoid a lot of future problems, right? And so everyone knows when they sign up for a new service that gives them a new wallet, it will comply with a global privacy standard, I think that would be great. I think it would create a lot of confidence amongst users.
But do you think we need more education for simple people who don't understand what Web3 is?
No, I think we need to require less education because there's more value, right? Remember, there were a lot of people, right, that didn't understand what e-commerce was.
Yeah.
And then we had COVID lockdown, and then all of a sudden everyone understood the value of e-commerce, and everyone, you had e-commerce triple in size in the course of only 8 weeks. So we're at that time in Web3 that so many technologies are at, where we're trying to figure out what it's good for and how to communicate it and all of that. And Web3 for Web3's sake isn't interesting. What Web3 delivers to people and companies is interesting. And if you take a lot of value and a much easier user interface, right, then
you don't have to educate.
Right. You don't get to billions of users trying to educate every user. You get to billions of users by making it so easy to use and so valuable that people just do it.
So then we will not need as much technical content and all the white papers, long papers.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So how do you see the ecosystem in 5 years?
A lot more users, a lot more entrepreneurs, hopefully a lot more value.
Yeah. And the last question. What's next for you in Web3?
Well, I'm adding, right, I haven't been working with a lot of Web3, either founders or VCs, but I have a lot of them asking me for help. So I need to figure out, it was interesting during my talk, I don't know if you heard someone ask, what are the right metrics to show that a Web3 company is progressing, is being successful, deserves investment. And so to try and figure out how to tailor my offering for Web3, or determine that it doesn't need to be tailored at all, and good Web3 entrepreneurs recognize that you build value the same way, regardless of whether you're Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, whatever. That's next for me, is more Web3 clients.
I love it. I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
And have a blast in Lisbon.
Thank you, and thank you for the fun interview.
Thank you, Mike.